Hi, I'm Mahesh Kamath. The story I'm going to tell you today is in the backdrop of the Brazilian War of Independence. There was a soldier who fought bravely and was even promoted from a cadet to a lieutenant. And it was only later that they found out that he was a woman. The story is about a woman who wanted to join the army for the fight for freedom. And because she was a woman and she was not allowed, she dressed up as a man and joined the army. She managed to disguise herself and fight the war. She even was promoted from a cadet to a lieutenant and even given gallantry awards. And she's today considered a national heroine or hero of Brazil. Amazing woman. I don't know how she pulled it off. We've seen such stories in the movies, but we never realized that this was actually something which had truly happened. But it's true. Please watch. Maria Quitéria. Maria Quitéria is a national heroine of Brazil. She was born in 1792 and became a Brazilian lieutenant and national heroine. She served in the Brazilian War of Independence in 1822 to 23, dressed as a man. She was promoted to cadet and lieutenant and decorated in the Imperial Order. She has been called Brazilian Joan d'Arc and has been a kind of national legendary figure. Quitéria was the first woman to serve in a military unit in Brazil. She, along with Maria Filipa de Oliveira and sister Joan Angelica, are known as the three Bahian women resistance fighters in the War of Independence against the Portuguese. The War of Independence of Brazil, also known as the Brazilian War of Independence, was waged between the newly independent Brazilian Empire and the United Kingdom of Portugal. It lasted from February 1822, when the first skirmishes took place, to March 1824, with the surrender of the Portuguese garrison in Montevideo. The war was fought on land and sea and involved both regular forces and civilian militia. During the late 1821 and early 1822, the inhabitants of Brazil took sides in the political upheavals that took place in Rio de Janeiro and Lisbon. Fights between Portuguese soldiers and local militia broke out in the streets of the main cities in 1822 and quickly spread inland despite the arrival of reinforcements from Portugal. The Portuguese military was defeated, but this was not followed by a swift recognition of Brazil's independence. From 1822 to 1825, the Portuguese government engaged in heavy diplomatic efforts to avoid the recognition of Brazil's independence by the European powers, invoking the principles of the Congress of Vienna and subsequent European alliances. In 1824, in the wake of the Constitution of the Empire of Brazil on March 25th, the United States of America became the first nation to recognize the independence of Brazil. Well, Maria Quitéria, against her father's will, an unmarried woman enlisted in the Brazilian army, dressed up and disguised as a man in October 1822. Until June 1823, she fought in several battles against the Portuguese in Bahia, where she lived. Maria Quiteria's father tried to take her out of the military, but because of her skill in battle and because of the support of her higher officers, she was allowed to continue to fight. She was promoted to a cadet in July 1823 and then to a lieutenant in August, where she was received and decorated by the emperor. Few details are known about the life of Maria. She died in 1853 in relative obscure poverty near Salvador. It was many years later that her legacy was revived. After her death, Maria was nationally memorialized in a number of ways. In 1953, 100 years after her death, a bronze medal was issued by the military bearing Maria Quiteria's likeness. It is called the Medal of Maria Quitéria and was issued to both civilian and military personnel for valuable contributions to military efforts. A presidential decree in 1996, Maria Quitéria was proclaimed patron of the Corps of Support Staff Officers of the Brazilian Army. It's an inspiring story of a woman so brave and courageous. But it is sad that she died in obscurity and she wasn't remembered much nor given the recognition at the end of her life. But it is heartwarming that 100 years later, she was remembered and made into a national hero or heroine of Brazil. I really salute this lady. Amazing woman, courageous and brave. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you.